Hello, and welcome to the tutorial on new tools for PR practitioners. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the new tools PR practitioners are using and how they differ from the old tools that PR practitioners used to use. Previously, PR professionals were using old tools, such as distributing press releases and using one-way forms of communication where they would publish information and not hear back from the potential consumers or clients at all. Instead, PR professionals would usually distribute information to others who acted as gatekeepers. These people include journalists, and the journalists would then be able to decide whether to report some of that news to their consumers, if it was newsworthy and important enough, or to throw it in the trash and say, this is just PR fluff and we don't want to report it to our consumers. So journalists were gatekeepers, essentially, deciding what got released to the public and what didn't. Now, there were a few exceptions, such as whistleblowers and investigative journalists, but that's really how the vast majority of PR work was done. PR professionals put out one message, and gatekeepers decided whether it got trickled down to the general public. Now, the kinds of messages that PR professionals would publish were press releases and newswire releases. So press releases, as you know, are often given to journalists to get their attention. And typically, in order to incentivize journalists to tell the public about a press release, PR professionals would offer certain journalists who were situated in a very advantageous manner an exclusive story so that the journalists would actually publish that press release. There was also the PR newswire, in which lots of PR professionals could basically put press releases on a newswire that went out to lots of journalists around the nation, even around the world. That newswire would just kind of compile everything in one spot so that journalists all over the place could look at it. But now, PR is very different. PR is actually focused on two-way communication tools now. And mainly that's thanks to social media, because social media allows PR professionals, who are really known as the content creators, to talk directly to the public and then have conversations with the public. So really talk with them in a two-way manner, a conversation that's two-sided. And the journalists aren't needed at all. So we're able to bypass the gatekeepers now thanks to social media. Now keep in mind that as a PR professional, you don't have to be on every single social media platform that exists. You only need to be on the ones that are relevant to your brand, because otherwise it would be too overwhelming. But social media is very useful because you can do the old form of PR work on social media, meaning that you can actually distribute press releases on social media. But you can then have conversations with people about those press releases. You can also distribute videos and blogs. You just want to make sure that it's very audience focused. That's the most important thing about the new PR tools, because you're communicating directly with the audience and there's no gatekeeper in between you and the audience. You need to make sure that everything you publish is specifically focused on the audience from the get-go. And if you're going to do blogs, then you want to make sure that you have high quality writing or high quality videos. They need to be professional looking. They also have to have a clear layout, lots of white space if you're writing a blog, and make sure that they are relevant and timely as well. You don't want to publish anything outdated or anything that's just kind of too generic and not relevant to what's going on in your industry or society as a whole. It's really important, in order to make those things happen, that you plan out your content in advance. So you want to show your audience that you've really thought about what's going on and how what you're blogging about relates to your overall image. That means that listening is crucial, right? If you're trying to show your audience that you've thought about what's going on in the world and in their lives, you've got to be listening to them, listening to what's going on in the world, and listening to what they want from your brand. So listening and then responding to your clients on a daily basis is imperative as a PR professional. You want to make sure that your social media posts, your blogs, your videos, everything really responds to what the public wants and needs. Don't just provide random information. And try and make sure that your messages help you to create niches and build good relationships with your clients. And this should help you to find new demographics of people for your clientele. Now, with that said, your social media messages are only going to be effective in helping you do those things if you create an emotional response, which means you want to try and include a call to action. Encourage people to visit your website or comment below with their favorite whatever, or click on this, or go film their own little video for social media about that, things like that. And you want to try and encourage them by saying that there's a perceived reward, such as you'll retweet the one that gets the most likes, or you'll offer a gift card or a free t-shirt or whatever it may be. Some sort of perceived reward will be really helpful in encouraging people to participate and actually go through with that call to action that you've encouraged them to do. Most of all, though, your social media posts need to remain positive and as authentic and transparent as possible. People want to see that there's a real human individual behind a brand and that it's not just some robotic company. They want to see you have a heart. So being authentic, being transparent, and being emotional, but staying positive and uplifting so that you're known as a positive brand is really important. The other thing you can do is observe how your networks react to the messages and images you're sharing. If you notice certain things tend to get a better reaction than others, start gearing more of your content toward those kinds of materials. That way you can increase your public following. Now, if you have any questions about any of that, please don't hesitate to contact your instructor. And thank you so much for listening to today's tutorial.